Hey guys, Skip here. Got the drop tanks to do on the P51 here that I was going to do. These are the original drop tanks. I didn't order new ones. I did order the brackets and stuff for them, but I didn't. I'm going to put them on after I doctor up these tanks. As you see, they're pretty beat up and cracked, and they just look horrible. I started fixing this one up a little bit, and the bottom was really a whole lot worse. But I want to show you how I do this sometimes. In the method that I use, you will end up seeing some more of the pores and stuff on the foam. But if you've got a really badly dented up surface that you want to fix, this might be a good technique for you to try. This is something I just kind of found on the, trying to schmooze it out and always trying to, especially a crunched and wrinkled thing, and you try to schmooze it out all the time on wingtips and things like that with your thumbs, and you still end up leaving a compression with the foam, and you still see the cells. You usually do get them, somewhere into shape, but I found another way that kind of works pretty good, and I use something smooth, a rounded surface, any of the tools that you're using. You could use a spoon for that matter, but if you've got a flat level surface, say like on a wing, and you've got little imperfections here, you might want to take a roller and kind of roll gently across. Make sure it's clean and smooth and round or flat, and you can kind of usually drag out a little bit of the ubu. We don't have one here, so we're not going to do that here, but we're going to focus on the bombs here, and you'll see what I do sometimes is I will go and roll along a dent or a schmooze and kind of compress the foam around it rather than trying to raise that. And I get a result that works out pretty good usually, and if I want to actually make this better, then I'll just fill that in and repaint it, and you get a nice smooth finish. But I started doing this up here, and it occurred to me, well, maybe I should show these guys, show some people what I do in some of my methods here, and I'll start kind of doing this, and you'll see what it gets better as I kind of work this. Now I a lot of times just use what I have here, and my forceps work real nice because they're rounded and they're smooth. You want to make sure you don't get any of the sharp corners or you'll tear it up. But I get in with this particular set of forceps. It's got a flat, kind of rounded corners, and then an edge here that actually get in a little bit. Now I can work smooth, or I can tilt the forceps up a little bit and get more of the angle at the bottom of them for a little more traction and maybe a little more depth on the smooth. So as I start working this back and forth in the directions of the impact, like if you get an impact that's front, you want to kind of work it outward, the opposite direction of the way the damage was created, and you can kind of walk it right back out and reshape your foam without losing too much of the structural integrity, and it looks a lot better when you're done. See, we've got some deep ones down here, and I could probably get those to kind of disappear too here, just by working the foam a little bit and roll it in, and you can get those to be a lot better this way. You want to be careful you don't go too hard to take the paint off, and depending on the paint that they've used, some of it flakes, so you may end up having to do a little bit of paint work afterwards, but you can reshape your tanks and your wing surfaces and foam surfaces on the fuselage and stuff the same way here. Now this one's pretty much decent. I mean, I can fly with this. That won't bother me a bit. This one here is really looking sad, so let's see what we can do on this one. I'll probably have to get a little bit more invasive, and I'll show you what I do with that too. Like some of these real deep spots here, I'm going to take a toothpick or something pointed. In this case, I've got a little bamboo skewer, and I'm going to go into the middle of this and very carefully poke a little hole here, and I'm going to go down in, and then I'm going to gently pry up around that damaged, sunken in area, and try not to pull the foam all the way up so it breaks. You might want to put your finger over it to make sure it doesn't pop up and break off, but you can usually pull the dents up. Now if you have to go a little deeper to get into a deeper spot, you can do that underneath the foam. But yeah, see, this goes in like that, and we can kind of raise that dent out a little bit. Yeah, we're going to have a little tiny hole there, but it's not nearly as bad as what it was. And then when I schmooze it in, or smooth it in with the forceps here, that should smooth right out and start looking a whole lot better. Hands are a little shaky this morning. I had 2 cups of coffee already, and I'm feeling the buzz. So This one's really bad too, so I might even want to get in here and kind of raise this a little bit. And actually, I think my skewer is probably a little fat for this. But you see, I'm going to get under there and I'm going to kind of pry that down and raise that dent down in there a little bit. And then pull it straight back out here. And I'll go the other way and undo the little dent that I put this way. See? And then I'm going to go and kind of work it. I may need to put a little glue on this one, and a little bit of refinishing, but I think you'll agree this is looking a lot better. And you know, rather than replacing the tanks and paying for that, you know, if you're happy with it this way, and I think I'll be, because this is going to work out just fine. I put a little fresh paint on there and a little shine to it, and they'll look almost like new. Still getting over a cold here, guys, and it's I think that's part of the shakiness too. I took some cold medicine earlier. That with the coffee? Yeah, probably. See, we still got some stuff in here too. But I think you'll see what I'm getting at here is that it can be smoothed out to make a whole lot better appearance, and then with just a little bit of paint, same color or just a little shine to it, or unless you can just live with it the way it is, that looks a lot better. I'll fix this up a little bit better here myself personally, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea that all is not lost when you see this stuff, you know, and the crinkled front ends in and stuff like that. And, you know, oh well, you can work it. You can work it. This foam is very forgiving. You won't get away with it too many times before it gets softened up, but it works. So I hope you like that. It's a quick tip, and this is Skip signing out. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend coming up. I'm hoping that I'm going to get out to fly this weekend, and but you know how it goes, our weather around here.